Welcome to On the Way to School, your 6-minute daily boost for educators and administrators. I'm Christopher S. Dennis, and today, let's elevate our journey together. All right, party people, good morning and welcome to the ride on the way to school. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Here we are, back on another great Monday. I am, one cup of coffee in, feeling great. My son, he's got a cross-country practice this morning, so we're going to get out a little earlier than the usual, but I'm excited for him to get out there and do his thing. So that's fun. We had a really good weekend and had dinner at mom's house and cooked up a huge meal. So it was good to be able to get out there, play some games and, always get a photo for the fam. And this week, my daughter gets married at the end of the week. So it's going to be fast and furious, which is all good. It's all good. So for today's conversation, I want to talk about harnessing the power of feedback. Feedback is something that people thrive off of. Actually, it's important to be able to receive feedback. It's important to know how to give feedback. So as we think about just this dynamic across the journey of a school year, feedback can really make or break the morale of a community of professionals. So your faculty, your administrators, your support staff, making sure people get the feedback they need to make the adjustments is really important. So three pieces of information to help harness the power of feedback. And before I get into those points, I'll share a little bit of a story. When I worked in higher ed, one of my bosses was, an amazing leader, and they were very motivational by demonstration. You wanted to work for them. You wanted to run through a wall for them. But it wasn't until I got a different job opportunity where I informed them that I was going to take the other opportunity to where I received really good feedback that if I would have gotten that type of feedback at different points, I probably would have sought it out because I would have made adjustments to try to see how I was doing with that feedback. And the feedback wasn't negative. It was actually asset-based feedback for me. But it came too late. Okay. So as a leader, it's important to really think about when are you going to say what needs to be said instead of sitting on it for whatever reason. Okay. So here are the 3 tips. The first is create a culture where feedback is valued. In order to do that, you want to be able to inform people the reason why feedback is going to be offered, how it contributes to the larger goal, and give folks the opportunity to engage with the feedback. Okay. So if the feedback is just going to be one-sided, it's not an exchange, it's not a conversation, then the feedback truly isn't valued. It's more of a critique. All right. So create a culture where feedback is valued, where it actually means you as the leader can receive feedback from people who are on your team. As an educator, you're able to clarify things when someone comes in to give you some corrective feedback or gives you an opinion about your lesson or your unit. You can actually inform them about what's really going on so you both can have a deeper relationship. All right. So create a culture where feedback is valued. The next thing is provide constructive feedback that inspires growth. Giving constructive feedback also includes the timing of which you offer it. Okay. If you offer it, immediately early on in the feedback conversation, or you offer it, we're in the first couple weeks of school, sometimes the feedback is important to give at this part of the year, or do you need to be able to get a couple more observes in so you can say, actually, I saw something in the last 2 lessons and I just wanted to make sure I saw it right. So here's what I'm thinking, could really help you move this to the next level or allow you to move through this transition more effectively. So feedback that inspires growth. You want to be able to give a jumping off point for them to actually lean into doing the thing that you're suggesting versus making it like a dead end, a dead end statement. So provide constructive feedback that inspires the growth. And last, you want to act on the feedback you receive from others. Okay. So if you're offering some suggestions and someone says, well, actually, if you would have sat in the class 3 minutes longer, maybe you would have saw something different. So receive that and act on it. Like, you know what, actually, I'm going to do that. I'm going to come back. I'm going to check you out, and I'm going to stay for the whole period. And let's just see if something's different. But if you're on the receiving end of the feedback, you don't always need to push back and clarify. Okay. Take something in and act on it. So if someone says like, hey, you're spending a little too much time kind of teaching to the slides, you need to move around the room and get more individualized attention. Instead of jumping to defend that, be like, okay, let me try that out. I'm going to see if I can mix it up a little bit and probably get some more engagement from the students, and maybe cut my slides in half and kind of have more dialogue, right? So act on the feedback you receive from others, implement it. And I always think it's good to actually let people know what parts of the feedback you've actually acted on, because sometimes people will act on it and then absorb it and then reflect on it as if it was already a consistent part of their practice without acknowledging that, hey, I learned this from this person, or this person gave me good feedback. So again, harnessing the power of feedback leans on 3 things: a culture of feedback where it's valued, inspiring growth through constructive feedback, and then acting on the feedback you receive from others. So hopefully this is a good kickoff to the week, and let's have a wonderful time on the way to school. See ya. Thanks for joining me on the way to school. Stay inspired, stay motivated, and keep making a difference. I'm Christopher S. Dennis. See you tomorrow.